Welcome everybody to now we have we're not in our office or our home anymore. We're at Coleman Coliseum, where Kentucky just lost 96-83 on the road at Bama. The only team this season to have beat Kentucky twice. Tennessee, they beat them both times, and then Vandy, they beat them once, but then they beat them at home. So finally the team's got Kentucky twice as the season's ended out. It sucks to see them lost, but they put up a lot of fight, especially being injured without Kirk Creesa, obviously, Lamont Butler, Jackson Robinson. Andrew Carr probably at 70%. Michael, what was your big
Carr looks good, man. He looks like 110%.
Played 29 minutes.
He looks like Duke Andrew Carr right now.
This is the best we've seen him in a while.
He's hitting shots. He's aggressive. He's confident with his body. He's just comfortable out there, and he looks good. They're going to need him. I thought, fans keep talking about Pope and his substitutions, and I'm not going to act like I'm a coach and I know what to do, but it was tough because he came out hot. He had 8 points at the first time out. I'm like, you got to leave him in for a little bit more. Like, let him cook, let him keep on going. But he gets pulled. I think 4 of the 5 starters were pulled. Pope pulled him right there. And then that let Alabama kind of get back into it, which was a bummer. But, yeah, Drew looks good.
We saw immediately as soon as they came out, Amari Williams came out for a stretch there. We lost that lead. A guy was talking to a guy that covers Alabama. He's like, Alabama keeps starting off slow the past 3 games. Well, they started off slow this game. We were up maybe double digits early from the jump, and it felt great, especially, if you're asking me coming in this game, I thought we didn't have a chance to win.
Yeah.
I do want to say that, going off that, I think they were like a 12-point favorite or something. They played great from what they had to work with. They had a chance to fight in this ball game until Mark Sears just put it away with a late 3 with about 2 or 3 minutes ago.
It was 12 and a half, wasn't it?
12 and a half,
yeah. Ended at 13? Oh, no, it ended at 16.
13, yeah.
13?
No, they ended up covering. Wow.
It
didn't feel like it, at least in my view of it. But, we got a lot from Travis Perry, quality minutes from Colin Chandler. I was looking over the stat sheet. Kobe Brea got up 10 3-pointers. Like, that's got to be the most he's shot in a game this year. And we've been harping, like, shoot the ball, man, shoot the ball. He had a couple. He could have had more.
Yeah,
but I like when, with the injury going on, the injuries, he gets more repetition, as he should. So I think he finished with, 20? So that's the team high. Our guy, Otega Owe, his streak finally ended.
Gone.
I mean, every
heck of a streak, man. Give him credit.
Yeah,
it was bound to happen. He's not going to go all year, but it was an off night for him. A real dud. I thought the end of the game with Amari was interesting. Looked like he was just gassed, or I don't know what that was, but I mean, he looked great, double again. But he had to do a lot out there, and you could tell it took a toll on him. How many minutes? He only played 27.
17.
I'd love to see that higher, but
got another double. 17 and 11.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed about Amari Williams is he just, as we all know, he gets really into his head. You could tell there's a lot going on in his head, emotional-wise. Mark Pope's telling, hey, calm down. And I saw one play where I was taking pictures under the goal. He was shooting a free throw. Some fan was letting him have it. He didn't let up. Just Amari Williams for some reason, like just him only. And he heard something, and he was like that was personal. And Otega was like, he's okay.
I will say, the USA was hilarious.
Yeah,
in my opinion, it was just funny. Like, people are getting mad. It's like, just take a joke. It's just the student section. Dumb students just doing dumb jokes. And that was a dumb, funny joke. Like, USA, because he's from England. They chant USA. They do it the first time. He makes both of them. They do it the second time in the first half. He misses both of them.
Yeah.
Then gets the dunk at the end of the first half. So he kind of got the last laugh. And then he kind of hit his free throws after that. So give him credit.
Cool.
But great game. But I thought that was funny.
Does Bama not understand that they have a player from Nigeria?
Yeah, but who cares? It's a joke. Too. It's funny.
Yeah,
who cares?
It was funny, but that's harping on their own player too. But I laughed at it. But do they not realize they got a player?
Just a jokey joke.
Yeah. So I noticed that Trent Noah had 22 minutes. Travis Perry had 28. Travis Perry had a career high 12 points. We just, honestly, looking over the stat sheet, we just missed a lot of shots, man. We shot only 42% from the field, 35% from the 3. Missed 17 of our 26 threes. Missed 6 free throws. I mean, we couldn't make shots. And once we gave that lead back up, I think it was maybe close in the first half. We never got it back. You feel like when we cut it to maybe 6, 8 range, okay, you kind of in the ball game. Bam, they hit a 3 and extended to 9 or 10, and just felt like it sucked the wind out. The place was nuts. I mean, 13,000 people in here. Michael, another whiteout T-shirt night. Kentucky's not, and we lost it. I guess we lost again. So
last week was their Super Bowl. this was not their Super Bowl. Last week was their Super Bowl.
Yeah, hurts my point too that we lost again when I bring that up. But they did have a whiteout, 13,000 people. This place was rocking. I've never been here before. Have you been here before?
No, it's cool. I've been to Auburn twice.
Yeah,
that place is awesome.
Yeah,
smaller.
I really liked it. Like this place is different. It's a what do you call this?
I don't understand the white panels.
I don't know buildings. It's the roof's curved like this, and there's like
dome feeling.
Yeah, there's about even amounts of sitting on each side. There's not a bad. I mean, I don't know if y'all can see it, but there's not a bad seat in this place.
Yeah, it goes a little higher here on the sidelines, which I like. But yeah, cool place, nice barn. It was electric. They said it was insane last week for 1 versus 2. So
yeah, they
could be a 1 seed. They can get right back in there after back-to-back losses and still be a 1 seed because both of those losses for them are not bad at all. You're losing at home to probably the number 1 overall seed, and then you go to Como and lose a tough one there against a good Missouri team. I guess they're losing Arkansas.
I have no idea.
But yeah, you might. Maybe I would even say probably will lose to Auburn next weekend at Rupp Arena if you still don't have Jackson and Lamont. But those aren't bad losses. Like that's to 1 seeds. And so, you're fine. I think this is all just kind of, you're playing with house money right now with this game and until you get those 2 guys back, unless they don't come back. Pope was talking about this new season, which, is like, okay, they're just playing like a new season right now without their point guards, like learning how to play a new way. Or the conspiracy theory is like, oh, it's a new season because they're not coming back. So we have to learn how to play. Now, I do think they're coming back. They just came out that they've resumed light basketball activities, however you want to phrase it. They're coming back. So hopefully they come back. But so until then, you just got to kind of just roll with the punches as a UK fan.
Yeah, if you made me pick today, right after this Alabama game, a lot can change for the next time, for the end of the season. I would say they're probably not coming back for the regular season, just holding them out for the SEC tournament. I sure would hate to see them held out for the SEC tournament, for the NCAA tournament, unless they're just having no choice. But I think a lot of these last few games, you don't want to lose them all, but they all don't matter a whole lot in terms of you're playing good opponents. You kind of got a good generalization of where you're going to be for the SEC tournament. Looking Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, it can't get I think we're barely on Thursday right now. If we keep losing and be Wednesday, it can't get any worse than Wednesday.
After Auburn loss, you lose at Missouri and then beat Oklahoma and LSU.
I think, if you just kind of, I'd hate for them to bring these guys back, somebody get hurt again, and then you don't have them for down in Nashville, At this point, I just say hold them out, if it depends on their status, hold them out till Nashville. Let's get them back, hopefully. Don't let them get hurt. I know there's nothing you can do about it, but, just take your chances in Nashville. We want to win. Mark Pope said that in his press conference at the beginning of the year. He's like, we want to win in Nashville. Things are a little different then. We had help, we didn't think we'd be injured like this, but yeah, tonight, you lose at number 4 Alabama at their own court, and the team, they also beat you in your own court, so it's not a bad loss. I mean,
and I'll say I don't think they played a bad game. They weren't great defensively. I thought the defensive intensity picked up in the second half, which is what I said tonight for my story on Fox 56. I thought they were better in the second half. It's just all those fouls just kind of dragged the game out and sent both teams to the free throw line. I'm not blaming it on the refs. Yeah, Kentucky fans are mad about the calls. And, yeah, there were a couple. Ortega's 5th foul, that was weak sauce. The Bama dude kind of, pushed off of him, and then they called the foul on Ortega. I think that was bad. I think, Collins had a 3rd foul in the first half. Or, that offensive one, he barely, that's weak sauce. That was a flop by Sears. But
I remember that.
Yeah, but outside of that, they were calling ticky-tacks on Grant Nelson. Grant Nelson cooked you guys in the first matchup at Rupp. He was nothing tonight because there were some pretty bogus fouls. A couple of them I was like, that's kind of a weak call. So it went both ways. I'm not going to blame it on the refs. You just weren't good enough to win the ball game, but you were still good. Kobe was great. Amari was great. Andrew Carr was fantastic. That was huge. And then, Travis is just kind of surviving out there. He's getting more comfortable. He's putting the biscuit in the basket a little bit more. So was it just 4 guys in double figures? I think those were the 4. And then
Carr,
1, 2, 3, 4.
Williams.
Yeah. And then you had 8 from Garrison. Yeah, what a stinker from Ortega. That's a bummer. He hasn't really. I feel like he just. I don't
1
He
for
hasn't-
9. They must have done
It's been a little
like,
different last
something
few
on
weeks.
22 minutes.
I think the scouting report's kind of getting better on Ortega. They're just not letting him, drive, trying to dare him to shoot, and he can't shoot three. So it's just it is what it is with him. I hope he figures it out. But yeah, the boys played a solid game, just not good enough.
I think that sums it up pretty good. I mean, coming down here, I didn't think we had a chance to win. For maybe 10 minutes of the game, it felt like we had a fighting chance. I wasn't predicting it, but during the moment, I was like, okay, they're coming to play, started off hot. And then when you factor in just being limited, I think we're on point guard number 4 now, 5, somewhere in that range. To have a chance at some point in a packed out Coleman Coliseum, that's a game you thought you didn't have a chance at all. That's impressive enough to me. I know we don't really celebrate moral victories, but the point of the season where we're at, just being injured, they gave it a shot, and I thought they almost pulled it off. Man, that would have been kind of crazy if they did, but not a bad loss. And I think we just, how many games we got left in the
4
4
at
games?
Oklahoma, Auburn, LSU for senior night, and then at Missouri. So 2-2.
Lose to Auburn, win at Oklahoma, win against
Destroy
LSU.
LSU on senior night.
Yeah.
Which is the
And
biggest
then-
senior night in Kentucky basketball history, right? Because it's like basically the whole team. Outside of it's just Garrison, Ortega, and then the 3 freshmen. Outside of that, everyone's going to be doing senior night, right?
I would say so.
So
yeah.
that's 7 of the 12, 8. Walker Horn.
Yeah, the return of Damian Collins from LSU.
Yeah.
I think he's a junior, but he comes back to Rupp Arena. I always loved him when he was there. I would say you go 1-2 with I'm torn on that Missouri game at Missouri. I would say right now we lose. I'm 2-2. You lose to Auburn, lose at Missouri. You beat Oklahoma on the road, and
Unless one of those guys comes back for that finale at Missouri.
I would almost argue let's wait. Just hold them out to Nashville, but we'll let Mark Pope do his thing.
But you're not winning in Nashville if you play on Wednesday. Sorry, you're not winning 5 games
whole
in 5
thing, is
days.
that what you're
It's
saying?
not happening.
Yeah.
You might win 2.
That's gonna be brutal.
5 games in 5 days is actually insane. Like Kemba Walker doing it is insane, and then won 6 straight to win a natty. Like
Especially
that
being
doesn't
hurt.
happen, especially in this conference. Like even if you play on Thursday, you're probably not winning 4 games in 4 days in this conference.
Yeah.
You're probably
asking
just
too
going to
much.
see a Friday team win it all because.
Then you turn around and ask them to do 6 in the NCAA tournament. It's like, how do you pull 10 wins together?
To do 5 in 5 days on that Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you play. If you had to play Thursday, you only get 3 full days of rest before playing your big tournament game. Yeah, it's not
Say,
happening. Maybe
win one game. That's what we need.
I'm telling you, man. Every Kentucky fan keeps saying no, but you know what? I want the Arkansas rematch.
I would love to have that.
Let's go.
I don't care about that
Let's
game
get
anyways.
the rematch. I
but-
think that would be so much fun in
Playing on
Nashville.
Wednesday night, you win that game, right? Kentucky fans gonna show out. I mean, I thought we would at Rupp too, but I
Give
think
it to me.
just make it to
if
Friday.
it's Wednesday, that would be nice.
Just go down there and don't lose your first game, because then all the lines of Cal could do this too. Win 1 game, 2 is probably the ceiling, and then make it to Friday. That'd probably be great enough for most fans. I don't expect them. How do you put it together? 5 games in 5 days. You're asking too much, in my opinion.
I don't know the injury stuff, but I will say just pure speculation, and I hate to speculate, but if Lamont has a torn labrum, then he could, as he did before, he could play through that pain, as long as it's structurally sound and stable, then which it was. Then at Tennessee he kind of re-aggravated it, but if you get to the point where it's stable enough, and then he's just playing through pain for the rest of the season until he gets surgery in the off season, if that is what it is. I could be totally wrong, but if that is, then I could see Lamont coming back. He should be back. I don't know about Jackson, but I did notice I don't know if you noticed that the wrist, he wasn't wearing that full black brace. It was a smaller one. I got some footage of it tonight, so that's a good sign, and that it's a little bit smaller, so maybe he's getting close to getting that thing off, but we'll see.
Did you see the paper airplane video that team put out? The social media team for Kentucky put it out a couple days ago. They were seeing who could throw a paper airplane the farthest, and Jackson Robinson used his right hand, and just like that, flicked it completely. I'm like, your hand don't look hurt to me. I know it is, but like that's just Kentucky fans, you know, watching every little detail. He threw a paper airplane, and he just looked just fine. So we'll see.
Well, Pope joked about him shooting lefty in practice and was making them, and then said, "Oh, we'll put a big cast on his right hand and then send him out there to play one-handed." But I did see him in warm-ups. He was going up with his left and putting up some floaters. And looked good. So I think hopefully, if that's not, it doesn't seem like it's serious enough that he had to keep the same more serious brace. If it's going smaller, that's probably a good sign. So hopefully he comes back.
Timo, we miss you.
Timo
was supposed to make this trip with us, and some stuff came up, so he couldn't. So me and Michael are just kind of holding down the fort here in Tuscaloosa. But Tim, we wish you were here, man. I guess that's all over I got. You want to wrap this one up?
That's it. We'll see how they do Wednesday at Oklahoma. What, Otega's return?
Return back to Oklahoma. You got to think he has more in, you know, back to double
cool.
digits.